All right, let's go back around the horn and find out who each of you have to win the Mountain West this season. Mike, let's get to you.
Well, I think the cream of the crop of this conference is San Diego State. They brought in an outstanding recruiting class. It'll change the entire complexion of the program. I think BYU, with all the experience with Fredette and certainly Tavernari, has the potential to get to the NCAAs as well. And I think Utah reloads pretty well, so I'll put them at number 3.
Wow, Utah at number 3. All right, Ryan, let's go with you. Who do you got?
I got UNLV at number 3. I think you can never count out a team coached by Kruger, so I like that team. And then at 2, I've got BYU. They're just a solid team. I think they're actually going to do a lot better in the Mountain West Conference tournament. I have them winning that, but my regular season champ for the Mountain West Conference is going to be San Diego State. They got a lot of young talent, and I think they're just going to catch fire. They're going to tear through this Mountain West regular season. They're going to play really well. They'll make it to the tournament.
All right, Matt, who do you have winning the Mountain West, and who's right behind them?
Well, sadly, who I have winning the Mountain West is BYU. That's the only thing I'm going to say nice about you, Robbie, so take it and like it. So, well, after I just think with Tavernari and those guys, they'll just have a great team this year. Second, I have UNLV, so I think with their coaching and everything, they'll have a great year. I have San Diego State at number 3. I'm still, yes, they have a great recruiting class. I'm still a little concerned to see who will become the leader of that team.
All right, finishing up with you, Robbie.
All right, that's journal material right there. I'm going to agree with Matt and put BYU at number 1, following with San Diego State and UNLV. I think if BYU can figure out a way to win at the Thomas & Mack Center, they could potentially go 16-0 in the conference this year. But I also love the recruiting class San Diego State has, and UNLV, it's just a hard team to beat, especially there at the Thomas & Mack Center.
Time now for one of our favorite parts of the show. It's called bragging rights. 2 of these guys will go at it, defending their home institutions using their best firepower they have. Today, Matt is facing off against Robbie. And gentlemen, as usual, your teams won't play each other on the field until the last week of the season, but you two are mano a mano right now. Utah and BYU, it's your first time on bragging rights. Robbie, what do you got?
Well, BYU's ready and waiting for Utah to come back to LaVell Stadium. We're looking to get those wins that we couldn't get against Florida State and TCU. I think both teams are really good, but Utah is just undisciplined. A lot of penalties, a lot of fumbles, not even good in the red zone. 74%, that's pretty pathetic. So I think those intangibles are going to play a big difference in BYU taking the Deseret First duel back to Provo.
Matt, he says Utah's undisciplined. What do you have?
Well, like I said, Utah has been a team that just gets better as the year goes on. And after seeing that downright beatdown that you guys had against TCU last week, I'm pretty sure that we can handle your guys' offense or defense or whatever you want to call it there. From what I've heard from several media things, they're calling for Bronco Mendenhall's head out there. Is that even remotely possible that you guys could even play against us? I mean, I think our defense rivals TCU. Max Hall has been playing, dare I say it, horrible this year. Do you think that they actually have a shot against us, playing against that defense? I think it's going to be another run over from last year.
All right, Robbie.
It's pretty bold of you to say that, TCU crushed us. You haven't even played them yet, and you have to go to Fort Worth and play that. I don't want to have to go back there, so you haven't even been there yet. But like I said, it's the problems that you're having. Penalties, fumbles, that's what cost us against TCU, but the difference is that was one game where we did that, and I think it was TCU doing it to us. Utah's been doing that all year. Can't hold on to the football with fumbles. They can't stay disciplined, keep all these penalties. Can't even score when you do hold on to the ball and get into the red zone. That's going to kill you when you come to Provo.
I don't think so. I think it's the other way around. I think that the defense will just destroy the offense, cause so many turnovers. The offense will be good to go by that time. We have 2 weeks until the TCU game. I think we'll have a legitimate shot. We'll keep it at least under 20 points.
All right.
For them. And
I'm going to have to pick a winner here. And although Robbie came out and said that Utah was undisciplined after his team got beat down by TCU, we're going to go with Matt as the winner in this. His team only has 1 loss on the year. BYU has 2 losses, so we're going to go with Matt on this one. All right, it's time for another break, and when we return, we'll get final thoughts from our panel. Stick around. On Campus Cam is back after this. Show's almost over. Time now for some final thoughts. This is the No Holds Barred segment of the show where our panelists get 30 seconds to talk about whatever they want. Let's start with Mike. The network is yours.
I just want to give a little respect to Elvis Dumervil, who is already having one of the best seasons in Denver Broncos franchise history. 10 sacks in 6 games. Is this guy even human? You know, if this Denver defensive renaissance continues, I think it's safe to proclaim Dumervil is the Michelangelo of that renaissance. And if that's so, then those sacks on Phillip Rivers were the Sistine Chapel, because those things were, you know, a thing of beauty. So
Mike is tearing it up. Matt, you're up next.
Well, again, I have to give kudos to the Utah volleyball team. Another big 5-set win over BYU last week, sweeping the season series against BYU. Just the first step to ensuring that the Deseret Bristol Trophy stays here in Salt Lake City.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
Well, lately it's been pretty tough to be a Colorado State Ram football fan. We've had a lot of things going wrong. But, you know, there's some things in the world that always give me a little bit of hope inside. One, I'm not a University of New Mexico football fan. 2, I'm not a Wyoming football fan.
Whoa.
3,
Ooh.
I'm not a St. Louis Rams fan. So that's always, I mean, I'm pretty sure the CSU Rams could beat the St. Louis Rams right now. So, I mean, those are some things that are keeping my head above water right now. And things have been tough, but thank you to the volleyball team and the men's golf team. You guys are out there shining. Keep doing what you're doing.
He has fired off the first shot to the border war. Robbie, you are the last one left. What is on your mind?
Hey, I want to congratulate Matt's women's volleyball team, too, for beating BYU. But come out here on Saturday for the Mountain West Conference Cross-Country Championships. You don't even have a team. You should come on out. One of our best sports. We're obviously going to take that. We should get some points in the duel, but we don't get them for our best sports. That's all right, though. You can come out, though, to Provo, Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Still inviting you to come for that game, see how your defense does, if it's as good as TCU. But don't plan on taking any hardware home with you. But BYU will take a conference championship this weekend in cross-country, men and women's.
Robbie's getting feisty. We like that here. That'll wrap things up for this edition of On Campus Cam. We want to thank all of our guests from BYU, Robbie Bullough. From Colorado State, we got Ryan Hilbig. From the U, Matt Coma. And from Wyoming, Mike Morris. Catch our next edition of On Campus Cam on November 17th, so mark your calendars. I'm Marius Payton. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later on the mountain.
The views expressed on Campus Cam do not necessarily reflect the views of the Mountain Network, the Mountain West Conference, or its member institutions.